Hi everyone. Um, I'm just doing a follow up on the video I had posted earlier under the title "Making It Happen." It was basically a video on how I was trying to get things sorted out dealing with my financial aid. So here's what happened. I'm gonna go ahead. This is basically a venting session or just explaining what's going on. Um, I spoke with my professor and she told me that I would need to go ahead and purchase an access code to get into my locked assignments online. So I went up to the school to see what all my Pell would cover, my grant, and to see what I had left. I had just only enough to cover my courses, but I didn't have enough to purchase an access code. And there was about maybe $150 more or less difference, but in that area. So I went to the financial aid office and I spoke with them and I asked them what happened with me applying for the excess emergency funds they have available for students who are low on funding. And they went ahead and explained to me that I had been denied and I should have received a phone call, which I didn't. And if I did, I must have missed it. So usually I expect for something like that, they would probably email me. So I just asked, could I please speak with the the minister of the financial, overall the funds of the financial aid department. I asked, could I set up a meeting? Because she had already explained to me that the minister was already in a meeting. So instead of her going ahead and setting up a meeting, she went ahead and said she would go ahead and meet with me right then. She came out and she had this, she already had this attitude about me because I guess she was to the point where she explained to me how she was already sort of bothered by me, or I had annoyed her to the point to where she just felt as if I was being needy. So she explained to me how whenever, I would come up there and I would ask, when was the funds available? Just, doing, talking how I'm talking, general talking, when are the funds going to be available? What times are the funds going to be available? To whom are they going to be available to? Questions like that. That I was just being over demanding. So, and she didn't appreciate me when I approached her one day. She was walking down the hall. She went ahead and explained that I was already being, a bother when I approached her in the hall. That was, I think I didn't know her at that time, but I just approached her trying to ask her what all I would need to do because I knew they explained to me that she was the person I would need to speak to. So I asked her what all I would need to do to apply for the funds, and she explained to me. And after I found out who she was, it was hard to really get in contact with her. No, you could not get in contact with her. So when I applied for the funds the first time, I would come up to the school because you have to come and be the first to apply for the funds. They said first come, first serve. So I would come up there early. They didn't tell you the exact dates. They would give you like an estimate. They say around about this week or this month. So I would probably come about one day a week or something like that early in the morning and ask them all the funds available. So me being assertive, they took that as being aggressive, and I annoyed them because I put in initiative to do what it took to get something done, and they didn't appreciate me coming up there trying to figure out when the time they would have the funds available, asking them the questions I needed to ask, and they felt like I was being a bothersome because my face, I guess, had become common to them. But I had never been rude to them. Always been polite. I asked nicely the questions that I need to ask. Thank you, please use my manners, goodbye, have a nice day, and that's it. And it's basic, what's going on, are the funds available, what can I do to get these funds, what would I do to qualify, what do you need, could you help me to pull up the material I need, simple questions of that nature. But to them, I was giving them hell, I suppose. I was making the job a little bit more difficult. And it wasn't like I was demanding. I was more just asking or requesting, could they help me? And whenever they were available, but to them, once again, that's I asked too much, I suppose. Um, so she explained to me that I already had been giving her too much, giving this too much attention, and she felt like I just needed to lay off, whatever. She already had explained once I stepped into her office, and she had this attitude, and about it, and I gave her the opportunity to explain herself without interrupting, because I wanted to get the full story before I explained myself. She said I demanded to see her, which I didn't. I requested to have a meeting with her, but she came out of her office. She said to me, you demanded to see me, and I was in the middle of a meeting, and I did not. I requested to have a meeting with her whenever she was available. So that was where she first just came out and just, started insinuating things that weren't true. And then she started pointing the finger in the face, like, not literally, just metaphorically, saying how I'm doing you a favor, being here, giving you my time, and doing things for you that, really I don't have, the time to be doing right now. I was in the middle of the meeting, and I came out of the meeting, which I didn't request. I requested to meet with her whenever she was available. So I should be thankful, something like that, that I'm taking the time out and giving you an opportunity to get something accomplished. Like, and this is what I'm doing for you. So here you go. You should be happy for this. So, and that was the whole demeanor of the conversation. Just her just basically telling me how grateful I should have been to have been in her presence, for her to be presenting me with funds that were available to students who are in need, and public things of that nature. But I should have been more grateful and humble, and I wasn't rude. I didn't say anything nasty out of the way. I wasn't mild, and I wasn't demanding, but she just basically told me that I'm here. I'm tired of you coming, at me about these things, and don't come and ask me for anything else. You be thankful for whatever I do for you, and be glad that I'm here in that nature. And she told me that the funds were available to students who were graduating in the summer, which is the next semester coming up, summer, and not the students who were graduating, but only graduating in the summer. They probably had to have another class. All I needed to do was complete the class for this semester. So if you needed classes for the summer and you would be graduating after the classes that you took in the summer, she would be able to accommodate you with funds. Or if they were some type of tech, a tech student, maybe in like a welding class, or maybe nursing, or something where you were receiving a certificate of some nature like that. She would be able to accommodate you. She said they would come first, and then anybody else after that. So I really got confused about that. I said, well, the funds are available to everyone, but basically they're only going to give them to the students who are technical students, and they're going to hold the rest of them off. But I technically could qualify for them, but she's not going to give them to me, or she probably wouldn't release the information if there were funds available after she had met everyone's needs. So basically, she's telling me like they're coming first, and I'm sure by this point in time within the semester, she had went ahead and sorted those things out. I would think she would have those sorted out, and then to see what students were left, because all the students who are in these programs. Then now what's left, if there's any left, am I available? But basically, she's like, I'm not gonna tap into that because these are for those students. So But if you're not going to issue out to any other students than that, they should let it be known these funds, SEOG funds, are only for the tech students. Other students should not apply for them, because you may as well not, because we're not going to issue them to you, because we're trying to save them for the tech students. But if there are funds available for students who need them, why not? And then what I found awkward was when I had spoke to her secretary. She said to me, well, are you graduating? I told her yes. And then she said to me, well, we don't have any funds available. And then she said she's not going to talk to you. And she hung up. And then I asked her, well, secretary, could you please call her back and ask her, can we set up a meeting so I can see what I could, why am I not receiving funds, or whatever could be done. And then that's when we went on ahead and talked, and she came out, whatever. So I found that odd that she said only graduating students, and as soon as I said I was graduating, she was like, oh no, she's not going to give me anything. And I felt like, was she being just purposely purposely just mean to me, or biased? Like, you're graduating, oh great, we're not going to make this so easy for you, and I only need but so much. So now I'm in her office, I'm feeling like, okay, you saying you're here to help me, you really didn't want to take the time out, you're kind of yelling at me, you're tired of me, I'm giving you a hard time. So basically you came out to tell me that you're not going to help me, and this is something you can't do. That's great. Okay, that's fine. She's like, okay, what I would recommend you do is fill out a form for what's it called, scholarships. So, and the scholarships, I knew the funders of the scholarships. I had one of the funders. I've dealt with one of them before, and I wasn't. I dealt with one of the funders of the scholarships before, and I dealt with and I knew the other one too. But the way she made it as if like I was begging and she was doing me a favor, and she was over all of the funds, so she would be the one to present my paperwork to the board and let them know that this is what I needed. So she's like, here, just do this, and you just be thankful for that. So I just said to her, you know what, I don't want to be a hassle, and I don't want you to have to give me anything. Like, I know these are public funds, but basically you're hoarding or holding them over my head as if like they're, So I just said to her, I'll come up with another way. She said, you don't have any funds. What are you going to do? She said to me. I said, well, God will provide. She said, yeah, I'm here. I said, you're not God. I said, God will provide. Yeah, God sent me. I said, well, I'll find a way, because you are making me feel like I'm just giving you a hard time. And if you was going to give me options and just come in and help me, you would say, hey, okay, I understand your situation. I've pulled up your paperwork and here's what I want you to do. But she came in and gave me this whole nasty talk about how I was such a menace to her, and how I should be grateful and humble and thankful for what she's doing for me, and just kind of like throwing a dog a bone, or like, here, take this, and like I said, I've dealt with one of the funders before, and I know that type already. Like, they have their ways too about funds, and they will, like, I feel like when people get in a position of authority, they hold things over your head. I know some of the funders, they will, they'll hold things over your head, make you feel less than, like, look down on you. And, I just pray and hope that no one bestows, or maybe someone bestows the same courtesy that she's, given to me. If someone, maybe she'll understand how it feels for someone to, make you feel like just like nothing, and then like, here, take this. Do you want somebody throwing you a dang on, piece of meat or bread, like, here, take this and be thankful for it. Who wants that? So I just explained to her, you know what, I don't want to give you guys any hard time. And you basically saying, like, I'm giving you a hard time. You're tired of me asking for funds every time you see me. And basically, you're not going to give me any funds. And I could or could not qualify for these. But I'm not going to sit here and give you guys a hard time, have to come back and forth and deal with this. I mean, who wants to have to go back and forth, see the same individuals, ask them if the funds are available? Are they going to, when are they going to be, how will I know? I don't want to deal with those people. I don't. So I just told them that, I'll figure out a way. I'll figure out my own way. And, I left because I'm not, I'm not a dog. I'm a person. I wouldn't treat a dang on dog in the street like that. Like, who does this? I don't care what position I have. I wouldn't treat a dang on dog in the street like that. So it's not okay. And like I said, I've never been once disrespectful to her. So I went out and I came up with something, did what I had to do to come up with some money, scraped up here and there, and I found, some extra money. So I said I came back, I said, where would I need to go? It's like every time I'm dealing with this school, it's always some kind of difficulties. Even when it came down to me getting access to the tutoring support, there's a glitch. When it came down to me getting access to my assignments, there's a glitch. When it comes down to me wanting to get extra fundings, there's a glitch. When it comes down to me trying to, get my schedule changed, maybe drop a course so I can have enough funding to get the classes that I properly could afford, there's a glitch. So I just went there back after I said, okay, what course would I need to drop to, if I drop an extra course and I had about maybe $100, would I be able to afford the class? Because I'm thinking, like, whatever it, to me, if I have to do what I have to do and get my product together, if that means ponding TV or whatever that means, So I'm like now serious about it, because now they're like, oh, well, we don't know if you drop this course, will the tuition go down? You would have to go back to financial aid. So now I have to go back and deal. I went to the treasurer's office to ask them that. Now I have to go back up and deal with financial aid, which I didn't want to deal with them at all. So they say to me, I said, excuse me, if I go and drop a class, what happens to my tuition? Will it go down? I wouldn't know. No, it would not go down. Or this tuition right here, it only covers one class since you're taking, we have many sessions. So she's saying it only covers this many sessions. So I asked again. I said, so you're saying to me if I drop a class, this tuition won't go down? The answer changed. She said, yes, it would. It should go down. So then I said, okay, I'm going to go and drop the class. How about that? And I'll see what happened with my tuition. Would it change? I get down to the admissions office, the people who go ahead and get your classes in order or whatever to drop a class, and the system is down. They cannot drop a class, and they already know about me. This guy comes out of the back. They call me. This is what he said to me. They call me, you're Jeanette, or you're such and such, right? You're Jeanette, right? So they told me that you're trying to have funds for this class or whatever, but basically the classes that you're taking, you don't need. And I already went over this with one of the admission advisors, that these are the classes I needed. So now he's telling me to drop both of the classes and put in another class. And I'm like, I'm already skeptic about them. So I'm thinking, drop my classes and then get in a class that you're telling me to get into, and then I end up taking up a class I don't need, and then I won't be able to graduate dealing with this stuff. It's always a glitch dealing with them. It sounds sketchy to me. So then I said, okay, you're telling me I don't need these classes. I only need this one class, and now you want me to find you're still wanting me to fill out paperwork for um, um, scholarship. I said, all I want to do is drop a course, see if my tuition will go down, and if I don't need the classes, then fine. I'll drop the courses, I'll take the course that I need to take, and still I will pay for it out of my pocket. Why don't you just fill out the scholarship paper? The lady says, you fill out that scholarship paper, you're going to need that because you already been to 2 different schools. You don't have any money. What are you going to do? I said, I'll pay for it out of my own pocket. It's just like, they're like, you don't have any money. You need this. Yeah, it's free money. Get the money. You acting like, get the money. Get the money. That's what they're talking to me like. You don't have any money. You already went to 2 schools. You graduated. What are you going to do? I said, yeah, I went to 2 schools already. This is my 3rd, and I'll go to a 4th if I want to. And if I have to, I'll pay for it out of my pocket. Please don't look down on me and tell me what I can and cannot do, or what I do or do not have, and what I can and cannot accomplish. It's just really just like threw it in my face. Just fill out the scholarship paper. The system is down. We can't take you out of any classes. And we won't be able to deal with you until 2 or 3 days later, which will put me behind in my studies, because if I go and pay for an access code and I don't need the class, that will take away from my funds. And I don't know if I need to pay for my class or not, because they're talking about kicking me out of the dang on system if I don't pay for the class. So the system is down. I'm almost going to get kicked out of the class. I need to buy the access code because I need to get into my studies. And now all of this. Next, and then, on top of that, I'm trying to do my work online, and next thing you know, I'm working with the tutors online. I get kicked out of that. They're telling me like, oh, your session has expired. You only get so many minutes per month. I'm saying, how is this a free service? And now all of a sudden the service is only limited to about 900 minutes a month. How are the students working who are home students, or who work from at home? How are they getting the tutoring services that they need? Are they having to leave from their homes and come to the school to get the accommodations they need in order to meet the requirements of the class? It makes no sense, but I'm thinking like, is this done purposely? Or because the day that I was doing this, I was over in the same office working from that program in the office that they're over that program, the tutoring program, and next thing you know, it shuts off on me. I just feel like it's just so many things that's going on, and I know God wouldn't give me nothing that I can't handle. I just, ever since the past couple of years, so many odd things has been mysteriously just taking form into my life. And I take them as they go, and I try to be as humble as possible. But it's to the point where the world is made of these things. These are what we're made of. Like, this is what the world is made of, and this is a society we live in. It's just, the type of people who will sit there and manipulate the system for a student who's trying to graduate, who's trying to get something accomplished, just for their own self-satisfaction or ego, just to say it wasn't as easy as she made it seem. It's really not as difficult as it seems, but they just to have that, you know, upper, just to have that, they need some people need that feeling of authority, saying like, it would have happened without me. I did this, or just to make you feel like you need them to have this leash around you. I mean, what what are you what are you accomplishing with that? At the end of the day, you still did nothing, only to tear someone down, less than to only make yourself seem as if you're doing something to help someone, but you have not. All you think you did was add more negativity to the way things in society already are. It's just, the world that we live in is just distasteful. Sometimes I have to sit down and just catch a moment. It's just crazy. So basically, that's my little moment for today. Yeah, having to go up here and trying to, lastly drop the classes, and then now the system is down. They're telling me I cannot get into the system. We won't be able to get into the system from 2 days from now. Fill out these forms. We want you to fill out these forms. Get these forms. But when I asked for them kindly, and now they're like being kind about them. But when I asked for them kindly, I was told that I should. I'm doing too much. I mean, it just could have been done like that from the jump street. I feel like these things are just mostly just, people's way of playing mind games for their own self amusement. But I don't find it amusing. I find it sad and sickening that someone would need that much attention to take away from someone else's success or their hard work and dedication, and to make everything harder on them in order to feel self-satisfaction. You point your finger at someone's face, tell them they're no good, tell them they, need you, then try to shove the dog food back in their face like, come on, get it, here, get it now. First you dangle it over my head like, here, I know you want it, and now I say no, but it's fine. And now you got everybody in the system telling me to get this. But now I made my own way. That's unacceptable. I'm not understanding. I think what it is, they like to see people crawl and beg, and it's amusing to see people with nothing. When you have something, God has blessed you with things, and I would never be that type of person. To have something, it feels good to make people feel less than, and that's the way society is. That's the world we live in. So basically, that's the end of my story, and I'm gonna wrap this up. The next time you guys see me, I'll probably be in the gym and letting you guys know what's been up and what's what. So you guys gonna say God loves you, and so do I. Subscribe, rate, comment, and add, and be blessed.